And we live.
Sweet match again between Nova Aetas and Nova Aetas Centbiz. Looks like the CT side won the knife round, so the NA team will be selecting which side to start, and I assume. And then we can hop straight into the pistol round. The match is now live. We see one player on the CT side picking up a kit and 2 flashes, hoping to support his teammates, maybe not doing as much damage as the rest. Daisy is going to be picking up a smoke, a flash, and an nade. So I'll be interested to see what the purpose or what the plan is in terms of that. On the T side, we've got 4 of them picking up P250s. And no one seems to have armor. We've got nades and smokes and flashes. Chaos is going to be taking up some real estate already towards this ladder area, sort of cutting off any rotates between the A ramp and towards the middle position. And we see the T is heading up towards the B ramp. Chaos might be able to slip in behind here. They are probably going to be checking for this. And the 2 CTs going to start pushing up together. We see one frag going in favor of both sides here. Nano managing to even the playing field. They're taking some damage and the kit is down. That's Synth picking up a frag. It's now a 4-on-3. Make that a 4-on-2 in favor of the Ts. And they've got the bomb down. So even if they lose this, they've got some money to buy into the next round. Chaos going to be slowly working up ramp here with his partner. Not managing to do much damage. Chaos takes down 1 though. That's Mojo Jojo down. And Nano cleans up the round. That's a nice 3k from him. 2 from Synth. And a solid T-sided round there from the NAC team. The CT side are going to be forcing up into it. Daisy hasn't got much money, so he's just forced up a Deagle. Be interesting to see what Skeleton has got on his side. Looks like just a P250, a kit, and some armor. So maybe hoping to play off some teammates, pick up some frags here. Some good positioning would definitely make a difference here on his part. And we'll see the T's start working their way up the A ramp. As they start working, they're going up at quite a pace. Synth not quite managing the molly, but I'm sure they'll check that corner anyways. Pine is taking out the sandbags area, and they're going to start pushing towards the A side. Not much damage going either way just yet. We've got a bit of damage. And Mojo Jojo just cleaning up the back lines at the bottom of the A ramp. Hein taking down a 3rd, and this looks like a clean cut round. Now the question is if they're going to try and save the armor, because Chaos does have that hen armor. And Hein taking him down regardless of the flash. Skeleton takes down 1, and he might just play for some frags here. They know where he is. He's got just a P250 and a bit of Kevlar. Not much going in the way of the CTs at the moment. He manages to pick up 1 before getting taken down by Frontman. And that's going to be a fairly good round in favor of the Ts. They get the bomb down, only 2 get taken down, and they can start buying up those AKs, playing off some of the money that they've built up. The CT side is going to be forced into an eco round. Not much they can do with the money they've got, but some well-placed utility and some well-placed crosshairs can definitely make a difference in terms of how the round plays out. So Mojo Jojo going to be playing early molly, sort of expecting or maybe even hoping for a bit of a mid-rush. Lots of utility getting thrown into the room. He's going to take some nade damage himself, but it's not too much. Mojo Jojo and Nano slowly working through this mid area, hoping for a bit of a push, and Sim's going to catch Chaos sleeping. Takes down another, and that's 4 frags already in favor of the CTs. Kira manages to take down 1 with the USP, but not much he can do from here on out. They've got plenty of util to set up this post plant, make it a nice clean round with only 1 man going down. And the CTs are going to be falling back a bit further in terms of their economy. They now know where he is. Mojo Jojo not being too over-aggressive. Takes down the final player. And that's a nice clean round from NEC. So a brilliant start from them so far. But it's going to start getting interesting now as the CT side buys up into those M4s, the FAMAS, and even an AWP. It could be interesting where they position it, whether they position Chaos towards mid because he has been playing there, or they might put it towards a ramp. Daisy's going to throw a nice early smoke, stop off any any rushes towards that A ramp, and they can set up nice and easy. There's already some action towards the A ramp, as maybe the T's are looking for a bit of extra information. Daisy's going to get mollied out here, it looks like, and he gets away, only losing 1 HP, so he's doing alright for now. And Synth's going to take some damage through the smoke. That's unfortunate, but we still got 4 AKs. Hein taking a lot of damage. It's a brilliant, brilliant hold there from Pala, but he does eventually go down to frontman. As much damage as he does deal out. And the B side's practically open. If they're quick enough, they've only really got one player challenging them, and that's Chaos on the AWP. Can definitely make a big difference. That's already one frag in favor of the CTs. And they're slowly going to be pushing up, and I'm sure the CTs are calling in for that rotate. 1 minute on the clock, but they're definitely going for this B side hit. 3 CTs set up towards that E-box area, and a 4th coming in through the CT backlines. Kira spots Nano through the smoke. Throwing a smoke of his own now to maybe protect that rotation. Hein takes down the first one, and a second one onto Daisy. And he takes down a third onto Daisy there, and doing a lovely cleanup there. It's now a 1-on-2. Very doable. Frontman's on 15 health, and the bomb is very much not planted for him. He fakes it out, and he takes down the final player. A really lovely retake there from the CT side, and the question is, do they have enough time? Oh, and it's just not enough. And that's really going to throw back the CT economy quite a bit. They bought fully into that round. They may be on a max loss bonus, but not too much going in their favor at the moment. The question is, are they going to go for a sort of pistol buy here? It looks like it, so they can sort of build up that economy and use that loss bonus to their advantage. T-side got the bomb down, and although they lost all the players, they've gotten a nice 4 winning streak here. So we've got Synth, Hein, Mojo, Jojo, and Frontman, as well as now all on AKs here. And Hein's going to go down nice and early to Pala. Ooh, Pala taking down 2 already in the midsection and managing to come back with an AK for his teammates. Synth holding this ramp position for any sort of push. If they can start evening the playing field just a little bit in their favor, they might be able to turn this round around. And here we see Kira holding a bit of an awkward position for the T's to take off. They are going to start positioning at least one towards the B ramp, and that's him. He's gone, but Synth takes down and trades another one. Looks down, he takes down a second. It's now a 2-on-3, making this a lot more doable than it was before. He's going to throw down one early smoke, throw a flash, support his teammate with a lot of util. Now they're just going to hold for that push. And the timing is just off, but he does manage to get away just in time. Kira flashes for himself. Doesn't peek off of it, but maybe buying teammates a bit of extra time. The armor punch throwing him off quite a bit there. It's now a 2-on-2. Make that a 2-on-1 as Nano cleans up yet another player, and it's now between Nano and Synth. Oh, and a beautiful clean kill from him. So that's going to be a 5th round going in favor in the T side, but the CT side on just a pistol buy, they're doing a lot of damage, and now with that they've built up quite the economy, and they can really sort of set up here utility, armor, anything like that, and it all goes in their favor. I see the orb getting picked up again by Chaos. It did manage to make a bit of an impact previously, just not enough for them to grab that bomb in time, but now they can get kits all over the map, M4s, and they can really buy up here. And this is when you'll start to see if they can really start pushing back against the T side. We'll see their economy start to falter. Synth is the only one on 6,500, the rest of them only about 1,000 and lower, so things aren't looking brilliant economically for the T side at the moment, but they've got that momentum and they seem to be doing fairly well. So the question is whether they can keep pushing forward with this sort of momentum, or if the NA team can bring it to a halt. And we see there was one AWP on Chaos, and when they had the full buy before, there was one AWP only, but they could possibly put another AWP on the CT side and, you know, make things a bit more interesting, but we'll see. It looks like they'll just be buying up M4s for now, and the rest is left on Kira, who also buys up an M4. So they're opting for the M4 buy with a lot of util behind it, and then Chaos with pretty much no utility, but an AWP which we know can make a lot of a difference in a round. Mojo Jojo just sort of holding off that initial mid presence, and Frun's going to drop the bomb lower ramp, and maybe they can play it. They're going to be playing like a bit of a default here, gain some information, and they're going to take 1 kill. That's Pala already contributing. And he gets the second onto Synth, and that's already put things in favor of the CT side. Plenty of util all around. They can set up a nice boost here, catch off any Ts that are unawares. Chaos is being very, very cautious when peeking this midsection, and I don't blame him. When you got 2 swinging your mid, you might be able to catch the first, but the second is always on his teammate's tail. Frun's going to pick up the bomb, and it looks like they may be moving towards the midsection to push together. I'm not entirely sure. Skeleton's going to be throwing maybe some util to throw them off a bit slow. They push down as we just crossed the 1 minute mark, and we're going to have 3 of the Ts slowly pushing methodically into the midsection, and that's going to give away their presence. Daisy falling off very early. Chaos picks up 1, Daisy picks up the second, and it's a nice clean round. Daisy and Chaos contributing there, taking out the midsection. There was nothing that the Ts could do there. That was just a really, really solid hold, almost a crossfire type thing from either side. And now the CTs can really sort of stack that utility, even on players like Chaos, who wasn't able to before because of the money. They had a really nice clean round. All 5 players stay alive, and just like that, the Ts are forced onto pistols. Ts are going for a bit of a B rush here, ignoring the molly. The flash is good, but the aim isn't. And that's going to be Skeleton taking down 1, and Hein and Mojo Jojo team up together to take down the second, or the remaining player. Chaos, it's a beautiful shot on Hein. And now it's just him holding the B side as Daisy falls down to Nano, and it's now a 3-on-3. The T's not doing too badly here considering they're just on pistols, and Frontman now has an M4 that he picked up. No armor on either side, but if they can get that bomb down, it would be really, really beneficial. Frontman gets taken out, and it's now Nano and Synth left behind. That's going to be Nano going down, and Synth to follow shortly after. But they managed to get the bomb down in time, just pistols, and they managed to take down 2 CTs with them. And as we know, holding that CT economy can become really, really difficult. So if they keep doing damage like this on pistols, you know they can start pulling stuff together really well when they've got a full buy going. So not too bad around there from the T side, maybe catching the CTs a bit unaware with that early push. And thanks to that bomb plant, they're able to buy up here just all AKs and then 1 player on the SG. Now they're going to be taking down that mid push from Chaos, possibly a bit overzealous on his part. And they can sort of just take this slowly, play their standard defaults towards mid and A ramp, and just sort of gather as much information as they can. Kira making sure their presence is known. Oh, and it looks like Synth is taking a long range fight here, which he eventually does lose to Daisy. And he's going to follow that up with an 8, doing some beautiful, beautiful damage onto Hein, tagging him down to 44 HP. And it's now a 4-on-4. Pala getting caught out here in the open. He manages to take down Mojo Jojo, but Funman's going to run away with the AWP. And we're going to see what they might be able to put together. There's no presence really towards this B ramp because they doubled up in mid. And that's going to allow Pala to push forward, take down Frontman. And then it's now a 2-on-4. A very difficult situation for the T side. They do manage to get down to the side. No massive util for them. It's now just Nano in a 1-on-4, and he gets taken down. Beautiful, beautiful aim there from Skeleton, and it's another really beautiful round from the CT side. They lost 1 player with Chaos being a bit overactive in the midsection, but they have plenty money now. They've managed to pick up 3 AKs, which I'm sure will make a massive difference. And we see another pause coming in, possibly to discuss, you know, what's going wrong here on the NAC side, because they were doing so well in the beginning. They managed to pick up 5 rounds practically. Well, they picked up 5 rounds in a row, and now things aren't looking so great for them. Their momentum's starting to die down. Their economy's starting to phase, obviously barring Synth, who I'm sure is sponsoring his teammates quite a bit here. And on the side of the CTs, it's completely flipped as well. We went from eco after eco following the initial force buy to 3 AKs and an AWP, and possibly another AK on Kiro, or it might just be an M4, but they're able to also stack it up with some util.
Yeah, not looking
and it's
forward
just,
to the week.
I'm sure if they just keep it methodical, don't get too overzealous, I'm sure Chaos dying in mid there was quite the lesson. So I'm sure if they just stick to their usual hold, Skeleton obviously a bit more wary now of those B ramp pushes, sets down an early molly and hold. This time they're going for the ramp push, but Chaos is a beautiful shot onto Synth. Lots of utility damage here. One player already dies to the molly, and it's a lovely, lovely cleanup from Daisy. That's a 4k from him, one from the molly, and then a beautiful, beautiful spray down on ramp. Utility damage, the utility usage rather, was beautiful there. On the NA side, they managed to throw down mollies and nades, and there wasn't much NAC could do. They got caught in between everything and anything that got thrown down that ramp. Doing really well for another clean round to really build up that CT economy. And it'll be interesting now on a full buy if they're going to try and go for that rush again, or if it looks at the moment like they're going to spread out, drop the bomb bottom ramp, and just go for a bit of a default hold, see what information they can buy out of them. They know if they have the two players pushed towards mid together that B side's only got one player who sits very deep in the site. So the question is, who's gonna slip first? Is it gonna be the CT side, maybe getting caught unawares, burning out their util too early? Is it gonna be the T's maybe not reading the game and possibly seeing something that wasn't actually there? Kira getting taken down early. And one of the T's manages to slip by, take out Pala on the reload, but he doesn't know about the other CT, but he turns around and takes him down. That's 3 kills from Hein and a 4th from Fran. It's now Chaos in a 1-on-4. Make that a 1-on-3. Beautiful shot from him. Is he going to be aware from the push from mid? Franman trying to make his presence known in CT, possibly pull him off the site, and he hits another beautiful shot. That's a beautiful shot onto Franman, and it's now Chaos in a 1-on-2. And so far, it seems like he's reading this fairly well, but is he going to expect the player from behind? And that's it. The player from behind's given away his position. He knows Mojo Jojo's behind him. It's just a question of which side he's going to come from. Mojo Jojo manages to close out the round. Beautiful, beautiful play there from Chaos, but it just wasn't enough. An AWP all by its lonesome, and the bomb wandering between sites. Difficult to read and difficult to hold when you've got players coming from each and every corner of the map. Even with the loss like that, though, the CT economy was built up quite a bit, and they can now buy into the next round fully with an AWP, or a double AWP actually. We see Skeleton picking up an AWP, and Mojo Jojo sort of holding very passively towards this mid position, seeing if he can get any early picks, as we see 3 T's push towards the middle position. They are making a bit of noise, and Fran's going quietly into the B side. I say that, he drops a flash, and now that's going to call the AWP back towards him. So they're going to have to challenge one in mid. He peeks out now, and that's Daisy who gets taken out by Nano. A lovely, lovely shot. Possibly not expecting the second. Pala takes down one, and now Chaos is going to be able to help pull it together. And one walks into the crosshairs of Kira. That's a free kill, and now it's all left onto Hein. 1-on-3, bomb in the open, and sort of has a small idea of where the players are, but not entirely sure. And I'm sure the CTs are going to want to hold on to this double AWP setup. Quite the investment, especially when if they didn't manage to win this round, then the money might get a bit dicey. So he picks up the bomb and he crosses, maybe just hoping from a push from one side or the other. He knows where Chaos is, because Chaos just let his presence be known. He's going to give away his position there. A possible failed molly. And Skeleton's going to take him down. Bit of a sticky situation for Hein there, being caught in the middle of the map. But the NA side being able to hold on to both AWPs and buy up M4s with a lovely, lovely round from their side. It's really, really nice to see how the CT's sort of in the middle position. They have one sitting up on that scaffolding, one sitting from the CT side, and then another from the A side, playing into mid, and they sort of play off each other, so you never know who's going to peek next, where they're going to peek from, etc, etc. Chaos getting taken down early by Mojo Jojo. And that's just another time where Chaos has been pushed up just too far in mid, and the util catching him unawares. But after that first kill, doesn't look like they're in a hurry to go anywhere. They still got 90 seconds on the clock. Maybe hoping for the CTs to burn out a bit more of their util, since going to be holding for any sort of aggressive pushes from the A ramp. They've managed to pick up an AWP, and the question is, are they going to try and play for more frags and not worry too much about actually winning the round, or are they going to try and force that AWP in order to grab a round? So Parla's holding quite deep so that he'll be able to catch them going up scaffolding here, and he turns away just at the wrong time. Flash comes out, Fran manages to tag him. That's going to be them pushing into the mid position, trying to take some control. They can't see him pass behind the smoke, but Pala here just running into CT. Hein forgot to put his headset on, but Synth and Fran going to be able to take down 2. It's now Daisy taking down Synth. And it's a 2-on-3 in favor of the T side. The bomb is out in the open. Kira takes down 1, which is traded by Frontman rather. And now it's Daisy in a 1-on-2. He holds possession of the bomb, but he has no idea where they're coming from.
My baby.
Pushing up quite aggressively here. He might get caught. And Frontman takes Daisy out. An unlucky round there, maybe a bit over-aggressive or trying to close down his options there in terms of where they could come from. But either way, the T's managed to clinch the round in their favor, and the CTs are going to be forced onto an eco here, maybe just a small pistol buy. The money isn't completely horrible, but it's definitely not enough to warrant a sort of force buy. Now we're going to have NAC with a full buy into the next round, full utility belts. Daisy holding a nice boost spot here to hopefully catch any early aggressors up the A ramp. Synth holding for something similar on his part, waiting to push together with Frontman. Mojo, Jojo, and Hein slowly pushing towards the middle position. They could get caught off guard here in the crossfires. It's all a question of checking their corners and a question of timing. That's 1 nade going down. Not doing too much damage onto Paolo, but it is going to push him off his position. And it's going to allow them to maybe grab a bit more real estate. Mojo Jojo holding a sort of off angle here on this boost spot. Not sure where that smoke was supposed to land, but I'm sure it wasn't there. Hein spots 1. He's going to be dropping a nade. Not taking too much damage, and Synth's going to be going quietly. They spot the boost. Daisy caught sleeping. And that's going to mean that 1 player gets caught from behind, and that's Kira, and it's now a 5-on-3 in favor of the T side. The CT's only holding deagles, and only one of them really having any Kevlar, so they may just sort of double up, triple up to maybe catch some exit frags here, but for the most part, they're a bit stuck. Chaos and Skelly trying to push in here, grab some kills, and it's 2 beautiful shots from Chaos. That's taking it down to a 2-on-5. The question is, does he over-aggress or does he try and save this AK? It looks like he's going to be going for it. He pushes out into the open, he gets caught out by Frontman, and it's now on Pilot to save the AK. Good call from them. Wasn't much he could do there, and he's saving his armor as well as an AK, and I'm sure their economy will be looking a lot better after this round. A really nice competitive game so far between the 2 teams. Both on the T side and the CT side, we've seen some beautiful holds, some lovely util usage on the CT side to sort of hold them at bay, or that ramp push towards A side. And Chaos has been really doing well on the AWP. But now we'll see what they can do. We've got a full buy on both sides. Frontman now holding that AWP on the T side. We've seen them, we've seen the CTs AWP quite a bit, but now the question is, how is Frontman really going to utilize his AWP? Initially, it looks like he's just going to be holding for that B push. I mean, that mid push rather. But we'll see if he can actually do any real damage pushing into the sites, or maybe holding onto the side in some nice post plants. For the moment, the T side's just holding some defaults, maybe hoping for a bit of aggression, a bit of timing in their favor. Now, Kira does get checked, but possibly a bit too late, as Synth gets taken down, and things are already looking in favor of the CT side. If they can pull this together, they could do really well in terms of their economy. Lots of damage being done towards Frontman, and we see 1 player walking towards the A ramp, getting caught out by a lovely shot from Chaos. Daisy taking down 1, 2, and nearly a third. It's now Hein in a 1-on-4. Kira going to be pushing up behind him. They're really going to want to take this gun off his hands and make the economy even worse for the T side rather. Hein not expecting the second. He's holding for that ladder push. And, Pala running out of ammo, but so does Hein. A bit of an awkward standoff there, but the CT's managing to take yet another round, and they might be able to end this half not looking too bad on the CT side. They were looking a bit shaky in the beginning, but I think they've got those jitters out. They're feeling nice and warm, and they've managed to pick up 2 AKs. They've got an AWP. The economy is not looking, sort of lavish if they lose a round, but if they can keep, this is the final round, so if they can hold on to this, they can end the half looking really good. Frontman already taking some early damage. Scaly taking down 2 nice and early, and Nice bit of trade there from Skelly to sort of not only even the playing field, but put it back in their favor, as it's now a 4-on-3 between, or in favor rather, of the CT side. They do have bomb control and things are looking good for them. Mojo Jojo spotting Kira, struggling to land that headshot between the sandbags. It can get a bit awkward, but he now turns it into a 3-on-3. Hein maybe not particularly aware of the positioning, but the mollies will at least close off some of those possible angles. And Skelly now picks him off as he runs away with the bomb. Very, very unfortunate on his part. Chaos maybe not landing the nade exactly how he wanted, but things are looking alright on their part. It's now a 3-on-2. They have bomb control, and Skelly's very, very deep in the T side spawn. If they have a rotate come through here, oh, and Daisy flicks onto Mojo Jojo, and it's now just Nano left in the 1-on-3. The players are tagged down to at least half HP between all of them, but so is Nano. Who pulls the trigger first? Nano. There's standoff between him and Daisy. He takes down the first. Tagged down to 18 HP, but he still doesn't have control of the bomb. Now, are they going to try and play for that bomb? The time is running low, and Nano is going to have to push. So you just got to make sure they don't throw the round away. He has a full belt of utility, but not much he can do at the moment. Chaos getting flashed by his own teammate. And it's now Nano with 8 seconds and nowhere to go. Hopefully, or he was hopefully hoping that there would be some protecting the bomb, but not quite. And Chaos spots him at the last second. And that's going to be half time. 6 or 7-8 rather in favor of NAC, but NA definitely doing a brilliant job of pulling back those rounds. They took a 5-0 streak in the beginning against them, and from them they've managed to really pull it back, only allowing NAC to have another 3 rounds since then, while they took 7. So a strong look on the side of NA, really showing what they have and what they can do. It just took a bit of warming up and a bit of getting those early round jitters out. So I'll be interested to see how the second half goes, starting nearly from the same point on both sides. It'll be interesting to see what the teams can do. As we get the second half underway, we see armor on 3 of the NA players. Bit of utility coming out on the side of Parla. Skelly's opting for the P250. And on the CT side, we only have 1 player with armor. We see no kits, but a lot of util. Maybe hoping for some early nade damage towards maybe the ramp position on the B side. We will see where they push towards. So far, it looks like they're gathering towards the mid position. Parla setting up a smoke. He's going to let that go and flash his teammates in. Or not the mid position, rather the B ramp position. Mojo Jojo sitting nice and close, not managing to land his shots exactly how he would have liked. And that's going to allow them to pick up a USP. Hein picking up a lovely kill onto Daisy. Takes down a second onto Chaos. And he runs out of ammo and doesn't manage to get away. But Frun picks up a beautiful pick. They haven't got the bomb down just yet. And they don't seem to be in any hurry to. One of the players is tagged down to 1 HP. Parla taking down 1, taking down a second. And now it's just Synth on 55 HP in a 1-on-2. Synth pushing up really close here. Not expecting Parla to just pop up like that and dome him. A really beautiful pistol round from Parla. He's been doing really well in the mid position on the CT side. And we're going to, based off of that T side, we're going to see some force buying on the side of the Ts. And just some pistols on the side of the CTs, hoping maybe to do a bit of damage where they can, but try and build up that economy for the coming rounds. Mojo Jojo pushing up really close into the face. Not managing to do much. Beautiful nade coming in. Parla takes down 4. And the 5th. A beautiful ace from Parla. Managing to survive on just 7 HP. And that's got to feel good. He had a 4K in the previous round. He's just aced in the second. That's really got to feel good. And get the confidence up, and maybe NAC now with the full buy, or sorry, some rifles coming into play and a bit of util, they'll be feeling a bit better. So we'll see here, Kira setting up that flash that Parla set up in the previous round towards the B ramp. It's gonna force some util out of Mojo Jojo, and Nano's gonna try and molly off the skinny area, but not getting much done with that smoke in the way. Hein pushed up really close here, maybe hoping for a bit of aggression on their side. Daisy almost catching the timing on Mojo Jojo, but he falls off just before he can peek. Beautiful nade landing onto him, taking 40 health points away. He does spot the arm, and he manages to take out Daisy. A beautiful shot from the side of Mojo Jojo. Hind now expecting this mid aggression, and he takes down Parla, spotting the shoulder before he even pops around the corner, and it's now a 5-on-3. Kira doing a bit of damage, but nothing really stopping Mojo Jojo from holding that position nice and strong. As we see the 3 remaining T's coming through, they managed to take down 2, and it's now Skeleton on a 1-on-3 situation. He doesn't have the bomb, he has almost no health, and he has no utility. He tries for a bit of damage, still surviving somehow between the boxes on 1 HP. He nearly takes down a player, does manage to take down one, and it's now him in a 1-on-2, and Nano finishes the job. Maybe not the cleanest round from the side of the NAC, but the point is they managed to get it done, and managed to get a round in their favor. After a very, very weak sort of eco round from them, not getting too much damage done, they've now managed to pull back another round. Unfortunately, with the damage coming in from the T side, it has done a lot of damage to their economy. 2 of the players getting forced onto farmhouse with maybe not as much util as they would have liked. And we're going to see the T side playing with a lot of aggression towards the ramp position. They spot one. Franman coming, or trying to come in with the molly. He doesn't exactly land that too well. And that's going to force the CTs back a bit. The T's are taking their time, so it might not play too much of a role. But it definitely stopped the CTs getting possibly a better grip onto the hole. Oh, Daisy hits a beautiful shot onto Synth. Nearly takes down the second, but Franman stands strong until Palace shows up. Skeleton decapitating Nano. It's now a 2-on-2 situation. And T's hoping to just get the bomb down, I'm sure. Trying to grab it without too much CT presence. Chaos needs to make sure he doesn't over-aggress. And Hind's just going to be holding for any sort of aggression from their side. It is planted for the ramp position, and Mojo Jojo's taken out. So a very awkward position to play from for Hind here. He has no clue where they are, and they almost peek him at the same time, but Skeleton managing to decapitate him as well, picking up 3 kills in the round. Lovely, lovely shots coming in from him. And the CTs get the bomb down, so they manage to buy into the next round. And it's now on the CTs to decide what happens next with their economy. So just some deagles, no armor, but a single flash on Frontman. They may be pushing towards, looks like the B ramp. There's some early aggression from Mojo Jojo, which gets dealt with by Kira. Skeleton's going to be running up towards the A side. A beautiful flash from Daisy allows him a kill on Synth. And Daisy picks up a second. Beautiful, beautiful shots from him. It's now a 5-on-2. And if the T's can just hold on to these rifles, do a bit of damage, they could really solidify their economy. Skeleton hits down one. Frontman does manage to pick up 1 kill. Possibly going to try and save that Galil. But I'm more than certain they're going to chase him down. He does hear Skeleton coming, but Skeleton takes care of him. That aim punch obviously doing Frontman no good there. It's a beautiful, beautiful 3k from Skeleton there. And that's going to allow the T's to buy up some more util. Their economy is not looking too bad at the moment. We've got Skeleton on nearly 6k. So even if one of his teammates isn't doing too great, he can help out there. The CTs haven't even been given the chance to buy up an AWP on the CT side yet. Their economy is struggling quite a bit. Mojo Jojo spots a player early, and Skeleton stands in the molly for possibly a bit too long. Parla's going to get naded down to 73 HP, and we see 3 players pushing not all that slowly into the mid position. So far they haven't seen an AWP, so there's no reason why they should expect one as of yet, especially with the rounds playing out as they are. Daisy possibly taking a bit more damage than he would have liked. Hind's going to capitalize on the players being stuck here. Frontman's going to help him out, and it's now 1 player left in the mid position. Both of them tagged up, and the CT's not taking a hit on any of their players just yet. Frontman supporting his teammate with the flash, and it's now on the T's to push up towards this B ramp. Maybe Skeleton's just holding towards mid, and Paolo's going to try take up some real estate on B ramp, and he spots Mojo Jojo on that jump. Unfortunate for him. Beautiful, beautiful molly. Not enough to push off Franman though, and it's now Skeleton in a 1-on-4. Stuck in middle, without the bomb, without any real information on where the CTs will be when he comes around that corner. So the question is, does he go for the save? Does he try and force some damage? comes around the mid position and doesn't manage to take down Hein just yet. Hein gets tagged down to 22 HP, and the CT survive with 4 players. So their economy actually turns out to, or ends up doing really, really well. And they can sort of solidify this lead, force up on, or not force up, but rather buy up on some util, and force the T side into an uncomfortable position. Kira nearly deciding it's better to do things off the map. But yeah, we're going to see the T's pushing up towards the mid position here. They run initially, but they actually slow down. They respect the utility. Hein smoking off his own molly. Maybe just hoping for someone to push past the edge of the smoke and use that to his advantage. If they do flash over, he is going to be slightly stuck in terms of support. I say that we have Frontman also supporting up here, so if Hein can just tag them up, maybe not even get a kill, but just tag them up and fall off, Frontman can provide the support that they need. You see them flash in, Daisy flashes them over, they all explode into mid, the molly bouncing off of one of the players, Hein getting taken down, Kira taking down a second with just the Glock, and manages to pick up an AUG. Daisy's going to be late into mid here, managing to not get caught just yet by the rest of the players, and it's now going to be a 1-on-3 on this B side. Mojo Jojo takes down one, but it is going to allow them to put down the bomb, and that's really, really what they're looking for. That's a beautiful nade. Not landing exactly where it needed to, but definitely doing a nice amount of damage. It's going to be Synth and Nano to retake together, peeking either side of the box. Synth takes down the first and the second, and it's a lovely 2k from him to secure the round again for the CTs. Now the T's are on only half the loss bonus, but their economy was already looking alright, and it's definitely a lot easier on the T side for them. So they can buy up into the round, stack it up with some util, and really sort of just, you know, play some defaults and see what looks like the weaker point. And talking about the AWP last round, we can see now that the CTs have that economy where they can buy up and set up an AWP on Frontman. T's also going to be opting for an AWP on the T side, which can always be interesting, always turn out it can either make or break around a lot of the time, and it'll be interesting to see if Chaos can spot any players possibly over the top of the smoke. The nade not doing too much damage, and Skeleton's going to try spot any players that are coming over the top of the smoke, and he does manage to spot Nano, tags him down to 50 HP, and yeah, it doesn't look like they're sort of forcing too much into one side or the other. They're going to try and take off their Synth, caught out in the open a little bit, but still managing to take out Skeleton. And it's now a 5-on-4 in favor of the CTs. Hein gets flashed into mid. Can't see any players because they smoked off, but Mojo Jojo, beautiful, beautiful play there. Picks off one, repositions over the smoke. They're going to struggle a bit here, but Pala using his utility to his advantage to try and push him off. Mojo Jojo getting spotted over the smoke by Pala, even though he might have been blind. Synth holding still here towards the A site, but there's actually no presence. All 3 Ts have opted towards the B side. Kira takes down one, but Hein trades it, and it's now a 3-on-2. Still doable for the T side. Not much, or actually no utility. Pala takes down Hein. There's 5 bullets in the mag. They spot one player dropping, and that's Nano. Both CTs here tagged down to half HP. The bomb is yet to go down. Pala takes down one and the second. That's a beautiful, beautiful 4K from Pala. Really showing up in this game. Pala's already sitting on 26 and 13. A solid KD of 2.0. Now the CT side economy looking a bit messy. Looking a bit dirty. It's not ideal. Synth somehow always being the one in the team with the most money. We'll never know how, but he's pulling it off with 4K. But they're going to be buying pistols into this round. Mojo Jojo just opting to sit on that USP. They're going to be forcing all 5 Ts up the ramp here. Synth takes down one nice and early, and he takes down a second. Chaos trades it along with Kira taking down 2 of his own, and it's now just Mojo Jojo left on a 1-on-3. But the CT's definitely doing a good bit of damage there. A nice read in terms of stacking onto that A side, and it's now just Mojo Jojo, no armor, a USP, and Pala's going to take him out. So not the cleanest of rounds from the T side. A nice sort of a good decision from the IGL to stack those 3 players towards the A side. It didn't get them the round, but it definitely got them more damage than they could have hoped for playing it maybe as a standard 2-1-2 default or something along those lines. So we're going to see the same buy coming out from the CTs. And it looks like they'll just be playing some defaults to start off here on the T side. Mojo Jojo jumping down and falling early to Parla. They already know one's down on B, but the question is, do they call for that rotate from the C? Do the CTs call for the rotate? And they definitely should. Daisy's going to take down Frontman, and Kira's going to take down Hein. A beautiful shot from Chaos, locking onto Synth's head, and it's now just Nano left, the last one alive. He does take down Skeletoon, trying to grab that AWP as it rolls away from him. Question is, will he read Chaos so close? He manages to adjust and takes down. That's 2 kills with just Armor and a Deagle. Picks up the AWP, making some noise. Question is, will he be able to read where the other players come from? The bomb's planted all the way on the B site, but there's a player right on his tail. Looks like he's going to try and find himself a little hidey hole here towards the in between the sort of the A and B sites, and just sort of hold on to that AWP. That's beautiful. They've had 2 pistol buy rounds. The first one they managed to get 3 kills. The second they pick up an AWP, but it looks like Kira's gonna deny Nano the AWP. And we'll see now with the CT economy. They're gonna be able to buy it, but it's gonna be very, very tense as T side is just 1 round away from 15, and if they can just secure that tie, I'm sure their nerves will relax a bit and they can really feel confident going into the following rounds. The damage done wasn't too bad for the T side. I mean, Chaos seems to only have a Deagle at the moment. I'm not sure why. Oh, there we go. He's picked up the AWP, possibly trading guns still in spawn. And I'm going to see some early util here. Nice nade landing onto Kira, chunking him down to 60 HP. And the T side's going to stack up here. It looks like 4 players towards the bottom of the A round. The smoke doing really well to sort of hold off any over-aggressive pushes. Synth taking down Chaos. Nano's going to take down Kira, and that's already a 5-on-3. The CT's really making the most of this full buy, taking their kills, repositioning, using that util to their advantage, and definitely making the T's really uncomfortable. A nice, well-timed molly. Skeletoon's going to take down 1. Synth's going to trade it, and it's now a 4-on-2. Front getting caught out with a bit of util here. Daisy and Parla falling off. Not really sure where to go at this point. They do have bomb control, but it's still a very difficult position. They are going to opt towards to move towards this A site. They're going to spot the player jumping up towards headshot. 1 player at default, that's Daisy. He gets he does get... Daisy takes down the player at default, rather. And looks like Frontman's going to go for a bit of an info play here. And that's going to cost him. Parla takes down a 2nd player in the round, but Synth is wrapping all the way around, and he catches Parla unawares. Beautiful, beautiful CT round. Not as clean as it should have been, but there were some amazing shots coming out from the T's as well. And even though it was a round win for the CTs, as always, the economy is always a bit tight on the CT side. The T's still able to buy pretty much fully into this next round, maybe with not as much util as they would have liked. Chaos going getting given a scout rather, even though he went for the Mac 10 originally and supported it with some util. I'm gonna see some holding for some mid aggression here from Chaos. Synth's gonna be throwing down some early util. Not the best smoke, and Parla gets taken down on the edge of it. And it's sort of evened out, or not evened out, rather. It's put in favor of the CT side. It's now a 5-on-4. Daisy makes it a 4-on-4, catching Frontman unawares. Very nice and close there. Beautiful nade onto Daisy and Skeleton in mid. I'm going to see Frontman trying to hold that mid position, but getting mollied off that scaffolding area. He's going to reposition towards CT. Mojo Jojo holding towards this ramp position. They're taking it nice and slow, but Kira takes down regardless of his patience. And now it's 3 players pushing towards the mid position with the bomb, hoping to maybe gain some real estate here. Synth playing on the edge of the smoke, manages to catch Daisy off. Smoke maybe not covering as much as Daisy would have liked. And it's now Skeletoon on an AK. And Chaos just on the scout, trying to maybe hold on to the guns, win the round. It's a bit tough for them at the moment. They do need to try and close this off. And a beautiful shot from Chaos onto Synth. He spots another one, tags him down. He's just on 12 HP. 2 players on the B side tagged down, and Nano's the only one left. And he's going to catch Skeletoon with the bomb, and it's now Chaos in a 1-on-3. He tags down another player. Not out of the question. Really well played on his part. And Chaos making this really interesting. He's picked up 3 kills, and he's heading towards the bomb, but Mojo Jojo's holding for him. And a beautiful, beautiful clutch from Chaos there. It was originally a 2-on-4, and Chaos did the damage using just a scout and a Glock. He's really made the difference, and it's now 15-12 in favor of NA. They managed to build up some money there, and there was an M4 save, so they can buy into this round a bit more comfortably. Although Kira's been put onto the MAC-10, he can still use a lot of util. And the CT's looking very uncomfortable on their buy. They're sitting with MP9s, Famuses, and just one M4 on Mojo Jojo. We have 2 players towards A ramp. Daisy taking down the first, and Skeleton taking down the second, and it's looking really good for the T side at the moment. We got Hyde, Mojo Jojo, and Fran. Just the remaining 3 players pushing and rushing onto that A site. Franman takes down one, and Hein takes down a second, and it's now even a 3-on-3. The T's do have the opportunity to plant, but that also allows the CT side time to reposition. But Skeleton denies Frontman any sort of real estate, and it's now Mojo Jojo along with Hein in a 2-on-2. Hein spots one. Manages to take him down. It's now Kira in a 1-on-2 situation. The bomb is planted, but he's just got a MAC-10. He takes down the first. He's going to peek on the second, and that's going to draw it out. Time's ticking away here. Hein's really going to struggle, and Kira is playing this perfectly. Hein is sticking the defuse, but Kira ends it, and that's going to be a win for the NA side, taking the map 16-12. Doing a really good job to pull it back from that sort of losing streak in the beginning, and taking it to the end.